great guy, thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Jim Nemo. Jim? Jim? Hello, Jim. Okay, good.
Making my way through the crowd.
There you go.
Hello, Oklahoma City. My name is Jim Nemo, and I'm very excited to be here. I had to write it down because I knew I wouldn't be able to remember half of what I want to say. I think we're here because we want our government to acknowledge our rights as citizens of the United States. We want the First Amendment guarantee of separation of church and state to be honored. I firmly believe that the religious point of view of particular denominations is standing in the way of our full LGBT equality. I speak and write plainly and directly to try and help our opponents understand the issues. I may not be the best looking fruit in the basket, but I'm certainly one of the ripest. In 2004, my partner and I of 32 years were plaintiffs in an ACLU lawsuit to try and stop Oklahoma's version of Proposition 8. Unfortunately, we were defeated. In 2005, I was an openly gay candidate for the Oklahoma City School Board, and I came in third on a ballot of 4 candidates, receiving 10% of the vote. For the modest campaign that I was able to construct, I was very glad with that return. If I can do it, I know some of you out there are much brighter and more well-connected than I can, and I encourage you to try again for public office. I say that I'm the ripest because 39 years ago, when some of you weren't born, I was just graduating from high school. Neil Armstrong was making the first moonwalk in July of 1969. Our opponents and enemies would say we're asking for that moon today, but I think we're only asking for what is our due as citizens of the United States. And as treasurer of Stonewall Democrats of Oklahoma, I have a special fondness for what happened in the previous month of June 1969. In New York City, the first well-publicized and sustained demonstrations against homo-hating bigotry had taken place. The Stonewall riots removed forever the stigma of the closet. That shockwave has been vibrating for nearly 40 years. Rex Wachner, a well-known internet blogger and reporter, has suggested that the passage of Prop 8 in Oklahoma and the nationwide events of the past week and today nationwide is a renewed Stonewall 2.0, a new release of energy and imagination in the fight for our LGBT equality. Earlier this year, we gathered at the 39th Street Park at Classen for a rally to protest the crude and belittling remarks made by Representative Sally Kerr, who called us terrorists, worse than cancer, and worse than Muslims. You'll remember that not long after our rally against Sally, she twice carried a handgun into the restricted state capitol building. She knows the law, but she broke it anyway. She was absolved of all wrongdoing with not even a slap on the wrist. Very much. Behind every gay man, there's a good lesbian. You try that trick once, carrying a gun into the Capitol, and your caboose will be in jail for a long time. Just forget about a second attempt. But today, we are legally and peacefully assembling and petitioning in full respect of our First Amendment rights. Now you tell me, who's the terrorist? Remember the contest that used to ask in 25 words or less why you like a certain product or service? I have a shorter version. It's called Tell Me in 20 Words or Less. Someone tell me in 20 words or less why my citizenship should be denied, diluted, and disparaged just because I'm a gay man. Tell me in 20 words or less why someone else's religious belief should be used to separate me from my partner, Don, of 32 years, should he need to be hospitalized. If you can, tell me in 20 words or less why one particular religious belief can be passed into civil law while another belief is ignored entirely? In 20 words or less, tell me why I cannot transfer my Social Security pension to my partner should I die first. In 20 words or less, tell me why I am forced to follow someone else's religious tenets that I do not believe in, and at the same time, my partner and I are denied civil liberties such as those enjoyed by those believers who are never asked questions about who they love. As President Obama, and let me pause there, can we all say President Obama? President Obama! As President Obama has said many times, we are one country, neither gay or straight, white collar or blue collar, red state or blue state. We are the United States. This is something our opponents do not understand. When they recite the Pledge of Allegiance, do they end it by saying with suppression and injustice for some? I hope our energy here today persists for as long as necessary to force our government to recognize our birthright as citizens of a free country with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Okay, according to the list, I'm the next guest speaker. So, hi, I'm Brett Gaither. Pretty much everybody here has said what I have to say. So I want everybody here to first of all give all our guest speakers today a big round of applause and a big cheer. And then of course we're gonna give everybody who showed up today a sign, because I'm looking around and seeing lots of pretty faces and lots of pretty signs. So everybody give each other a round of applause. Okay, that's really all I have.